1:48 in the morning. A 10-story apartment building. Galati, Romania, 70 people asleep. A Russian drone crosses the Danube, enters NATO airspace, and hits the roof. Full payload. Detonates on impact. The building burns. A woman. First-degree burns. A 14-year-old boy treated for shock. 70 residents evacuated into the dark. This is not Ukraine. This is Romania. A full NATO member state, protected by the most powerful military alliance in the history of the world. NATO's response? A statement. Secretary General Mark Rutte said, "Russia's reckless behavior is a danger to us all." And that was it. No ultimatum, no Article 5, no consequences, just words. So here is the question. If a Russian drone bombing a NATO apartment building draws no response, what exactly does? That is not rhetorical. It is the most important question in global security right now, and nobody is answering it honestly. So we will. The facts first. May 29th, 2026. Russia launches 232 drones at Ukraine in a single night. One of them crosses the Danube, enters Romanian airspace at 1:54 in the morning, strikes a residential building in Galati. Romanian President Nicusor down, confirmed the drone altered course mid-flight after being hit by Ukrainian air defense over the border town of Reni. It was already inside a populated city when it hit. Romania summoned the Russian ambassador, notified the UN Security Council, convened an emergency national security meeting by sunrise. Romania's armed forces had tracked the drone from the moment it entered national airspace. Standing orders, shoot it down as soon as conditions allowed. They never got the shot. And here is the number that defines this story. This was the 28th recorded breach of Romanian airspace by Russian drones since 2022. 28 times. Same response every time. Scramble jets. Monitor. Condemn. Move. Now let us talk about what Article 5 actually says. Because most people have been sold a version that does not match the original text. The 1949 treaty says, "An armed attack against one member shall be considered an attack against all, and each member will take such action as it deems necessary, including the use of armed force." Such action as it deems necessary. Not automatic, not a guaranteed strike. Article 5 has been invoked exactly once in NATO's 77-year history, after September 11, 2001, and even then, it took 3 weeks of consultations before the alliance formally confirmed it. The promise was never automatic. It never was. But here is what matters. The entire deterrence logic of NATO is built on the belief that the threshold means something, that crossing it carries a cost. Russia just crossed it inside a NATO member state, injured civilians, damaged property, and drew no cost. That is not a technicality, that is a signal, and Russia knows exactly how to read signals. Medvedev did not apologize after Galati. He went on social media and told Europe to be vigilant during the war with Russia that Europe had entered. Not sorry. A warning, because the data supports his confidence. Lithuania counted 36 GPs spoofing transmitters operating out of Kaliningrad at the time of the strike, up from 3 at the start of 2025. Russia has been systematically learning to redirect drones across NATO airspace. On May 7th, a drone hit a Latvian oil depot. On May 19th, a Romanian F-16 shot down a drone over Estonia. First time an Allied jet downed a redirected drone in the war. This is not accidents. This is a test. And so far, the test results confirm that NATO absorbs the hits. Now, the layer nobody is covering. The same week Russia bombed Galati, classified documents obtained by German media confirmed the United States is withdrawing specific military capabilities from NATO's operational planning framework. The list: American combat aircraft cut by approximately 1/3, strategic bombers significantly reduced, Navy destroyer commitments withdrawn, American submarines removed from alliance planning entirely. Combat drone support minimized. Earlier this year, when NATO allies declined to join the Iran war, the White House press secretary said NATO was tested and failed. Trump has since discussed withdrawing the United States from NATO entirely. Russia testing the alliance from the east with live ordnance, America hollowing it from the west with classified lists. Both, simultaneously, and NATO's leadership is standing between them, issuing press releases. Here is the analysis the mainstream will not give you. Two false arguments dominate this. First, NATO must strike back or the alliance is dead. That is reckless. A kinetic response to a redirected drone risks the escalation spiral that ends in a war nobody survives cleanly. Second, it was just a stray drone, nothing to worry about. That is blind. 28 violations. Civilian injuries. Expanding spoofing networks. A pattern this consistent is a strategy. The real answer is harder. Deterrence works by making aggression too costly to repeat. That calculation is being revised. Russia is not invading Romania. Russia is doing something more precise. Russia is demonstrating, methodically, that NATO airspace is not sacred. That civilian injuries in member states produce statements, not action. That the alliance's response lives entirely in land. The longer that continues without a structural consequence, the lower Russia's estimate of NATO's actual red line becomes. That is how deterrence fails. Not in one dramatic moment. In an accumulation of small, unpunished violations, each one slightly larger than the last. The apartment in Galati is not the end of this story. It is the calibration. And that is the harsh